Good evening. Sorry about the slight delay in regards to this video, where it is an appreciation of all things Minnesota Twins. Now, whoa, hold up before you crash the comments and go, well, wait a minute, Rob. The Minnesota Twins? You're wearing Minnesota Vikings gear. Well, I've got to show love to Minnesota Vikings as well, especially since they're hosting the next Super Bowl. Anyway, sorry about the slight delay about the video. But so I love the Minnesota Twins. Now, for anyone who's just landed on Earth, or actually lives in England like I do, and rightfully doesn't have any idea who the hell they are or what the hell I'm talking about, the Minnesota Twins are an American baseball team within the major leagues of baseball who play in the American Central Division. They are a baseball team, of course, so you're probably thinking, why in the hell do you, as a British man, even know who they are? Well, the best way to explain baseball really in one word to someone who lives in the UK and doesn't follow it at all is rounders. It's pretty much the same thing. I don't agree with that, I'm not saying that just because it is just like that. There are some very obviously more sort of intrinsic rules and more complicated things than that, but that can be explored in another video. I love the Minnesota Twins. They were formed in 1961 when the Washington Senators lost the franchise, or franchise was awarded to Minnesota, which is known in America as the land of 1,000 lakes, because they've got lots of lakes. It's not a very damp place. It's quite cold, actually. Very, very cold in winter, which a lot of people in the world will actually know if you've seen the movie Fargo or the TV series, because that's set in Fargo, which is in Minnesota. So I love the Minnesota Twins. I absolutely love them. They are my favourite baseball team ever. I always like to sort of aim to at least catch highlights of every game they play in the regular baseball season, which is 162 games long. Yes, that's correct, you heard me right, 162 games long. And I just thought I'd take this opportunity to sort of show off some great Minnesota Twins merch I have. Here we go. And of course you will hear a lot of me saying things such as thank you, this person and that person, so just be aware. So lots of shout outs to a lot of people, well, two specifically. One of the first things I like to show you is a bat. I got this for Christmas from my good friend Joanne, many thanks, darling. This is a bat, a Minnesota Twins little mini baseball bat. That one will come in a minute. I'll just move that out of the way for the moment though. And on the front is my favourite current player, second only to Brian Dozier, one of the stars of the current Minnesota lineup, a Joe Mauer mini Minnesota Twins baseball bat, and you can see there's the Twins logo there. Yes, very good. Shan't be using it to actually hit any real balls, or for that matter any neighbours, any errant aggressive neighbours, but yeah, it's a nice piece of my Minnesota Twins collection. Okay, so there's one. Dearie me. Here's the other lovely thing I like that I got for Christmas as well, again from Joanne, so thank you, darling. Is if this is a person, well, it's an engraved glass that has one of the Minnesota Twins logos on the front. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but it's got the Minnesota Twins logo, or one of them, which is two smiling men shaking hands, because Minnesota Twins baseball is located in Minnesota, which is known as the Twin Cities. I don't know if you can see that there, you can just about make it out. The reason why it's called the Twin Cities is it's made up of two cities in the state, which is Minneapolis and St. Paul, and that picture is two smiling baseball players shaking hands, because they're known as the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis. One of the greatest things I really like, I think I've watched this about getting on to about, honestly, legitimately about 50 times now, is this DVD, which showcases in perfect sort of condensed form. It's not short, but sorry, I've got an errant baseball bat who wants to roll off the table. In perfect condensed form, the two times that the Minnesota Twins have won the World Series. And this DVD here, called the Major League Baseball World Series Vintage Series, is a comprehensive highlights package of their first title win in 1987 and their second World Series title win, which was in 1991. Absolutely fantastic. That's a big shout out to James for this. And as he knows, I tell him I watch this a lot. It's absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. One of my other bits of favourite Minnesota Twins merch is this lovely coffee mug, and another shout out to James on that one as well. Yeah, which I got for Christmas as well. I absolutely love this, emblazoned with the lovely Twins logo, which is Twin Cities, TC. It's not your initials, Tony, I do apologise, but yeah, TC, Twin Cities embossed there. And if you turn it round, it's got the Twins font logo. There we go. Very, very nice. And yeah, coffee tastes great in it as well, so it should. So yeah, thanks James, again, that was fantastic, you know, I love that as well. Now, my favourite player in the Minnesota Twins was a short guy, played centre field, called Kirby Puckett. And all you people who know me, Joanne has a nickname by me. I call her My 34 because she is my perfect teammate. Oh, yeah, so actually Joe and James fought to buy me exactly the same book, so one of them's there for prosperity and one I shall get round to reading very, very soon, or a little bit more. This is by Kirby Puckett, my favourite player, who actually spent his whole entire professional career playing for the Minnesota Twins only. He never went to another team in all of his professional life. And on the back here is a great striking image of when Kirby Puckett scored the winning home run in Game 6 of the World Series in 1991, October 26th to be exact, my father's birthday. And he's so happy, as you can see, because he scored that winning home run, and that enabled them to go to Game 7 of the World Series and eventually win the title. So yeah, it's very, very good autobiography written by Kirby, called I Love This Game. Lots of pictures. It's from, I think it's goes up till about 1993, so right at the peak of his career. Unfortunately, 3 years later he had to retire because he had glaucoma, and then very unfortunately after that, 10 years later, he died of a stroke, which is very unfortunate. Absolute legend of baseball to me, and my favourite player of all time. And one of the last, I've got two other things to show you. I do follow all Minnesota team sports, as you can probably tell by my Vikings attire. But there's another lovely book that Joanne got me for Christmas as well. This is a whole book dedicated to all Minnesota teams. The Vikings, which play American football, the Twins, of course, the Timberwolves, which is their baseball team, the Minnesota Wild, and so on. Really, really good book. It's got forewords by the author and Kent Herbeck. One of the stars of the 1990s and mid to late 80s baseball lineup in the Twins. Kent Herbeck. It's really, really good. I've read a good majority of that, but that's another one what I'll dip in and out of. It's absolutely fantastic, so thank you, Joanne. And there is one last thing coming up, so stay tuned. Yeah, last thing to show you is another lovely book that Joanne bought me, so many thanks, which is a book solely based around the great World Series that the Twins had against the Atlanta Braves in 1991, because it was a very exciting 7-game series, lots of tension, lots of drama, and so they decided to write a book solely dedicated to that, called Down to the Last Pitch. And this book I have read in its entirety, and it is absolutely fantastic. It does really capture the excitement and the mood of the fans on both sides. It is luckily for me, quite biased towards Minnesota's result, and it really is good. So I recommend that very much. So yeah, Down to the Last Pitch. 60 Years and 60 Heroes was the other book about the history of all Minnesota Twins, and Kirby Puckett's autobiography there, called I Love This Game. Now, of course, you can get those from Amazon at any time. So do check it out. So I hope you enjoyed my sort of soiree into all my Twins merch.